today's video is on lesson 3.1, which has to do with lines and angles. So most of these definitions you'll know. The ones I don't feel like you do know, I've put here in the notes. The first definition is skew lines. Skew lines are lines that do not intersect and are not coplanar. I think that's something we discussed back in chapter 1. So skew lines do not intersect and are not coplanar. And we can look at a specific example of that tomorrow in class. There's a couple of theorems that I need you to write down and make sure you know. The first one says, if there is a line and a point not on the line, then there's exactly one line through the point parallel to the given line. So make sure you have that down in your notes. And so basically what that says is, if you can imagine a line in your head, and then put a line or a dot someplace off of that line, there's only one line that you can draw through that point that will also be parallel to the given line. So essentially, you could draw a line that looks really, really parallel, but it will never be truly parallel because there's only exactly one. So it looks like you could draw a couple different lines that would be pretty close to parallel, but really there's only one. Then the next theorem, which is very similar to that, says if there is a line and a point not on the line, then there's exactly one line through the point that's perpendicular to the given line. Again, we could draw a number of lines that might be 89.9 degrees or 89.5 degrees, 89 degrees. They'll look really close to perpendicular, but there's exactly one line that is perpendicular. Then another definition is transversal. Transversal is a line that intersects two or more coplanar lines at different points. And that's really what we're going to spend quite a bit of time discussing. So if you look here, oh my goodness, not sure what happened to the picture, but if you look there, there are two lines that I have drawn. They're not parallel to each other. They just don't intersect at this particular drawing. And there's a third line that cuts through them. So this line right here is what we call the transversal, okay? When we have two lines that are cut by a transversal, we have a number of angle relationships that occur. We have corresponding angles. I apologize, I don't know what's happening to this video. It keeps turning yellow and then white. It might be my daughter getting in the shadow. Oh, there we go. So we have a number of lines, or a number of angles that are drawn here. And so we have corresponding angles, and I have listed there all of the examples of the corresponding angles. We have alternate interior angles, alternate meaning one on the right side, the other on the left side of the transversal. Interior meaning they're on the inside of the two lines that the transversal cuts. Alternate exterior angles, again, alternate, one on the left, one on the right of the transversal. Exterior, meaning they're on the outside of the two lines that are drawn. And then consecutive interior angles. Consecutive, one right after the other on the inside of the two lines. So there are all of our angle pair relationships that we have with those two lines cut by a transversal. All right, so on the back side of your notes, there are a few problems that I'd like you to do. One asks you to find the corresponding angles, the other the alternate exterior, the third the alternate interior, and then lastly the consecutive interior angles. So using that diagram that I have given you here, I'd like you to identify all the pairs of angles that fit those descriptions. So have that for tomorrow. Enjoy your night. See you tomorrow.